I'm at a barbecue or a deli and I'm presented with the choice between a macaroni salad and a potato salad, I'm going to choose the potato salad 9 times out of 10. It's a little odd then that I've picked a macaroni salad from a Century of Mormon Cookery to make today, but I thought it sounded yummy, but then I just didn't leave well enough alone. So for example, it calls for 1 envelope of herb dressing with buttermilk, and when I was at the store, I found this, and that sounded a lot more fun. So I'm already screwing with the recipe. It calls for cubes of processed cheese with onion. I don't know where to find that. I'm not even sure what that is. So I went to our local cheese shop, the Toledo Cheese Depot in Toledo, Washington, if you're so inclined or nearby. And Kyle picked me out some onion cheese, and we'll just go with that. They also have a website. So if you don't live anywhere around here, but you want some really kind people to sell you some really good cheese, I'll put the link in the description. I'm going to start out by boiling my shell macaroni. Are shells the same as macaroni, or are those two separate things? Whatever. I've got shells to make the salad out of. So first up, we'll get them boiling, and then we'll chop the vegetables, make the sauce, put it together, and see what we end up with. Seems like a recipe like this demands that I build it in an old school Pyrex. Feel very sentimental about the Pyrex. If you're of a certain generation, you probably do too. So I've got my macaroni cooked, and let's get it all mixed up before it seizes up. I've got celery, green onion, and red pepper. Okay, and while that cools, we'll make our dressing. I'm going to mix together my Sriracha Ranch dressing mix along with a 1/2 cup of milk and a cup of mayonnaise. Whisk that up. Before I dump it all over my macaroni and vegetables, have a taste, see what. Oh, it's spicier than I was expecting. Sometimes they soft pedal things. Okay, good to know. Now just 3/4 of the dressing goes over the pasta now. The rest goes later. Does seem like a lot of dressing. I'm enjoying the kick of the sriracha in the dressing. I think of macaroni salads as just being like looking beige and tasting beige. And this certainly isn't going to taste beige. I'm not going to put in any more dressing at this moment. I think adding 3/4 of that dressing would make it too soupy. I could be wrong, maybe something will happen while it's chilling in the fridge. This needs to chill, it says, for 3 hours or overnight before you finish it up. And at that point you can add more dressing. So I'm gonna err on the side of caution right now and send this to the fridge, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I'm back really quick. I have decided I want to add more crunch in there, so I'm going to put the remainder of my red pepper. I think it's a nice complement to the sriracha flavor, and the red gives a visual cue that something with a little heat is coming. Just going to chop that up really quick. I do tend to over add vegetables. If something calls for part of an onion, I generally put the whole thing in. I mean, it's vegetables. It's good for you. Also, I think the cheese that originally called for would have been a bright orange cheese, and that would have helped with the beiginess of it all. But since I couldn't find that, the cheese I ended up getting is white, and so any bit of color I can squeeze in to the salad is important. Eat with our eyes before we eat with our mouths. Now we'll refrigerate it. I'm gonna prep my cheese while the macaroni's in the refrigerator. It doesn't specify how big the cubes are to be. Just something I guess that's easy to eat with a fork. Okay, that is the 4 ounces that it calls for. As long as I'm chopping cheese, I'm just gonna cube up the rest of it and snack on it if I don't end up putting it in the salad. My mix of flavors is either gonna be genius or appalling. I think it's gonna be okay, but remains to be seen. My macaroni salad has been in the fridge for 3 hours, so now it's time to finish it up. And let's see how much of the dressing it sucked up. I have to use a little more. Okay, now I'll stir in some cheese. Some sliced eggs. Paprika, just a sprinkling. And croutons. It says sprinkle them on top. I think what I'll do is when I serve it, I'll just put some croutons on the individual servings. So I'll do a little tasting of it now for you, even though it's meant to be served in like an hour with dinner. I'll patch it up. Nobody will know I've been sneaking bites. Toss a couple of croutons on the top. I definitely like the Sriracha dressing because one reason why I don't choose macaroni salad over potato salad is it's kind of flat, bland, but this hits you with a nice kick. And then the cheese and the egg round it out. Yeah, if you like macaroni salad and you can find the Sriracha Ranch dressing, make it. And now I'll stop eating so I don't spoil my supper.